Hi, and welcome to the second episode of Democracy Theater. It is January 21st, and I'm your host, Rich Scott. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Tons of stuff to go over, but we're not going to do that, or I'm certainly not going to do that, uh, other than to say thank you, uh, President Obama, for releasing Chelsea Manning. It would have been nice if you'd done it for Snowden as well and Petier, but thank you very, very much for releasing Chelsea Manning. It is certainly deserved, and I'm very happy about that. Yes, this is day 2 of the Trump presidency, and today we are seeing a press secretary blatantly lie to us, as his boss does. So, excuse me. So, a million things to unpack, and I hate that word. And I'm not going to do it. I wish I could. I can. It's my fucking podcast, so what the fuck am I saying? What I'm saying is that there's just not enough time, really. It's unbelievable. So the reason I got on the horn today is a couple of things. I wanted to talk about the cabinet, and I will talk about 2 cabinet posts or appointments that Trump did. But first, I want to talk about the sucker punching of Richard Spencer, the alt-right Nazi. He was, what it looked like to me, conducting an interview on the side of the road during the protest, and some guy jumped out of nowhere and elbowed him in the face. And I'm like most other people that watched that. I think that most people that watched that, like myself, took a little bit of joy in that, and I think everybody should be allowed to take about 2 seconds of joy in Richard Spencer being punched in the face. But then after that, you could think about it, and after about 10 seconds of thinking about it, I'm starting to get a little bit mad. First of all, I don't understand all the commentators and opinion makers on Twitter left or Twitter progressive or the group that perceives themselves to be pure, was taking a lot of joy in it and was questioning why some people didn't fall in line with what seemed to be the trend by the opinion makers on Twitter left, that we should all take joy in this, that punching Nazis is okay and it's as American as apple pie. And again, I want to point out before anybody gets their panties in a bunch, that again, I have no problem with standing up to Nazis. I'm sure if you go far enough back you go back in my family history, I have family members that ended up in the oven in Poland, right? So back the fuck off before you feel like tweeting or writing or commenting. Here's my point about that. first of all, let's recognize that if we're going to start punching people, right, just out of nowhere, that's a two-way street. And I know we're righteous, and I know we're right, and I know we're on the right side of history, but just understand that there's a whole bunch of people that are not on our side, and if we somehow now believe or say or condone that randomly punching people that we do not agree with is now a part of the tool that we on the left will use at protest. Just remember that will happen to somebody on our side. So to all the people that were all jumping up and being happy about the Richard Spencer punch, just be clear. I don't want to fucking see you cry and whine if one of our comrades, brothers and sisters, are punched or accosted at some protest or some demonstration. And again, I get it. I get the anger. I get the frustration. I am not per se a anti-forceful protest, but that was some of the most undisciplined. I mean, seriously, somebody that knows this asshole, ask him, what was the purpose? Other than the fucking self-gratification of getting to punch him in the face and having that on video so you can sit and jerk off to it at home. What was the fucking purpose? What did you think that you got out of that? Here's what I can tell you what you didn't get. All the people, well, not all of them, I shouldn't say all, but a large amount of the people that voted against Hillary for Trump, they don't like that shit. They don't like violence. They have a hard time accepting protest. And I'm not saying we gotta cuddle them, but we need their vote. Oh no, what the fuck, we don't need them. Really? Really? Hey, Grasshopper, let me tell you something about selling then. What do you think is easier? To sell somebody that's looking for the product that you're selling, or for somebody that's not interested at all? In other words, what do you think is easier to switch to your side? Somebody that doesn't ever come out to fucking vote. It's not a tradition. It's not something they think about. It's not something they do. They've either given up on the system or they're too fucking dumb to realize how powerful their vote is. Or somebody that's already out there voted, that probably voted for a candidate that you have supported once or twice in their lifetime. Who do you fucking think is easier to convince? The person that's never gotten up off their fat ass and marched themselves down to the voting booth? Or the person that has done it but just couldn't vote for the horrendous candidate that the Democrats forced upon us this time? So yeah, that dude that just to satisfy himself and be a hero to his friends, that punched Richard Spencer, the racist fucking pig, in the face, probably did more damage than good. The only thing we got going for us right now is that the attention span of Americans is so low that hopefully it will be forgotten or that so much other bad shit, unfortunately, is coming down the pike from Donald Trump that that people will forget about it. But just to sum it up, that literally was equivalent to pissing in your pants when you're cold. It feels good right when you're doing it, but not that long after. And it's really sad to see. It was stupid. But I'm less mad and disappointed and upset with the gentleman that did it than with the opinion makers on the left side of Twitter that thought that this was all just fucking A-okay. This was something we should just do. Absolutely. Good idea. Let's punch something. It feels good to punch somebody, right? Yeah, but it doesn't fucking feel good to get punched. And by the way, can I also just say real quick about the actual punch, right? It is a sucker punch, and it was a coward's punch, right? So if you wanted to convince somebody with your punch, right? If you wanted to scare racists, as one of the memes are going around and saying, to scare racists again, if that was your point, you didn't do it. You didn't do it. Nobody thinks that sucker punching somebody is cool except your friends and sycophants. Nobody. Now, if you were a man, if you were a boss, you would have walked up there, you would have said, "Excuse me for a second, could you put up your hands because I want to punch you in the fucking face?" And then you would have punched him. Now that would scare somebody. That would make a point. But coming out of the middle of the nowhere and punching somebody even as despicable as this fuckface, Richard Spencer, and thinking that you accomplished something, that you moved the ball, that you convinced somebody. When really it's a fucking selfish fucking act. Really is. Really, really, really is. It's fucking sad to see. But enough about this Richard Spencer dude. He really doesn't deserve any attention at all. Not even a little bit. But okay. It is what it is, isn't it? I don't know. I also I wanted to talk about some of the appointments that went through the hearings. Betsy DeVos was one of them. The billionaire woman. Her brother is Prince, Eric Prince, who is the proud owner of the mercenary group Blackwater. I know they have a new name now, but let's just keep it that. They're fucking Blackwater. They're disgusting. That's their name. Just change your name to Hyde. Yeah, I don't give a shit. Still Blackwater to me. Frightening hearing. An absolute attack on public education. There's this thing that they continually talk about choice. And of course, just to be clear here, I have nothing against private schools. I have nothing against any form of good education provided to kids. But we don't have a private school until we have a public educational system that functions, right? And of course, my biggest problem, or she, of course, Betsy DeVos doesn't give, it doesn't care about education. And the moment I can point to where you realize that everything she said about how she cares about children and how she cares about education and all that stuff, the moment she reveals herself is the moment when she's asked about keeping these charter schools and these private schools, making sure that they adhere to the same standard as public schools, and obviously, since it's taking money out of the public school system, they should be under strict rules and guidance. And the moment that she was asked about that, and the moment that she was questions about holding these schools accountable via tests and stuff, she of course backed off, and she wouldn't commit to that. There was a couple of states, I think it was Rhode Island, that has a system that works really good, and another state, I apologize for right now, I forgot the two senators, but she obviously, at that point, when she wouldn't commit to that, reveals that this is really just a matter of transferring money away from the public school system, creating an uneducated, permanent underclass. So this is just a part of a strategy, and of course she's a fake and a fraud and a phony, and should not in the universe as I remember it be confirmed or even be considered. But in this parallel universe, and with the Democrats as unorganized and weak as they seem to be, I'm not entirely sure whether or not that will happen. I really hope it doesn't. And if none of what I said convinced you that she should not be confirmed as a Secretary of Education, the fact that she was introduced by Joe Lieberman should be all that you need to know, and that should convince you that she is that she's not fit. She's not fit for her political reasons, but she's also just not fit because she's fucking dumb. I mean, it's unbelievable. It really is unbelievable. I mean, obviously, you listen to some of these people who have become very successful, measured in dollars and cents. They are smart, brilliant people, and you're like, okay, I don't understand why there's this much money in being this smart, and when we have such misery in the world. But I get why you are where you're at. I have no idea how she made it. None. There was nothing in the way that she spoke. There was nothing in the way that she conducted herself. There was nothing in how she communicated her knowledge about education that indicated that she had a talent or intelligence that in any way justified the lifestyle and the money that had. Oh, wait, I forgot. Obviously we weren't talking about blowjobs. Maybe she gives amazing head, and that's how she became a billionaire. But I think she was born into money, right? I'm not entirely sure. That wasn't nice to say that, but fuck her. The other person that I wanted to talk about a little bit about was HHS nominee Tom Price, who's apparently a doctor of some sort, and I can't fucking believe that we're talking healthcare again. Wow. I have to find people smarter than me that understands the American psyche better than I do, but because I just cannot wrap my mind around the fact that Americans reject single-payer healthcare. I don't get it. I just don't get it. And of course, Tom Price was just going down the whole thing, and he of course wants to repeal Obamacare. Unlike most anybody else in Trump's administration, he did admit that there were some things about it that was good, but then he kept using. The term was, we want to have a plan where families can pick the plan that fits into their health decisions. Well, I got news for you, man. Here's the plan that people want. They want the plan that takes care of their needs when they're sick. They want the plan that saves their lives and make it and extends it when they're dying. They want the plan that when their children fall and break their legs or arms or get sick from playing or just sick from living, that takes care of them. That's the plan they want. There's one plan. We don't need 10 plans. We need one plan. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Or families will need to be able to pick a plan that suits them. Yeah. Why don't you fucking show me a family that says, yeah, I want the plan that won't take care of my son's broken arm, or my daughter's broken leg, or my wife's breast cancer, or my prostate cancer, or concussion. Yeah, give me that fucking health plan. Show me that family.